Hello everybody. Welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? I'm going to take you into the forbidden world of excavation. Oh, strap yourselves in and get ready for a ride, because Sam's getting into this one. Listen, from the day I brought this excavator onto this property and started trying to get it to work, I have been inundated with comments about how I'm not qualified and how stupid I am and the stupid stuff that I do and just that I shouldn't even be anywhere near this machine. And man, I'll tell you what, I've sure gotten a lot of work done with it considering how dumb I am. And you know what? I can't believe the thing's still running since every time I touch it, I break it. Oh, please. It just drives me nuts. Now, on the flip side, I have gotten a lot of very encouraging and helpful comments from people who know what they're talking about, of course, and that they want to help. They're like, oh, maybe you should try this, or you should try that, or hey, this is how this works, and this is how that works. That's what this whole YouTube community is about. We need to learn from each other. We need to be nice to each other. But let me tell you the comment that got me. So the last video, if you watched it, if you didn't, I'll leave a link up here or something. My friend Mike, who has a channel, Nowhere Bound, and he's a camping channel, he stopped by to get some firewood, and he said, hey, can I run the excavator? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do a video on it. So I got him in the seat, and I taught him the basics of it. You know, we were being safe. We didn't do anything crazy. He just picked up a log, and I cut it into pieces. So I got this comment from KB Excavation 2719, KB Excavation. So I'm sure this guy is an expert excavator. He's probably run a machine for years and years and years. And he decided he had to chime in and say, I don't understand how guys with maybe 100 hours on an excavator, that's me, feel they have what it takes to show others how to operate one. We don't allow apprentice electricians, he said appreciate, but that was probably just a typo. We don't allow apprentice electricians to train other apprentices. So I get it. I really do get it. You know, if somebody has a plethora of knowledge when it comes to something, that's the best person to learn from if they're a good teacher. But just because, I mean, the electrician's comment, I mean, I guess we better shut down Home Depot. Don't go buying any electrical outlets, because if you're not an electrician, you shouldn't do it. It's a DIY. If you shut the breaker off and you watch a few YouTube videos, you can put electrical outlets in your home. It's not brain surgery. I ran electrical 300 feet down to the barn and put in a sub panel. And I'm not an electrician. I just know how to learn, and I'm careful. So anyway, we're gonna now learn from this idiot right here how to run an excavator. So first we have to learn the parts. This is the diggy thing, and it's connected to the reachy part. The reachy part moves because of the juicy juice that goes through these tubes. When the juicy juice goes through the tubes, it makes these in and out things go in and out. And that's what makes the reachy part move. Speaking of moving, these are the tracky tracks, and they make the whole machine move when the juicy juice flows through them. This is a blade, but you can't carve a turkey with it. It goes up and down, up and down. You can push dirt with it, but don't call it a bulldozer or you get yelled at on YouTube. This is called the cab, but it's not the same thing your wife drinks. Now let's get inside. This is where all the scary stuff is. This is where the key goes. We're in trouble now. These levers move the tracky tracks. Forward makes them go forward, and backward makes them go backward, unless you're not facing the right direction. And because of idiots like me, they have safety features such as this lever right here. Nothing works unless you push it all the way forward. Now that the safety features are disengaged, we get to move things. So let's pick up the diggy thing. Well, on your left, you have a joystick. And on your right, you have another joystick. Let's just do the left hand. Put your right arm behind your back so you don't mess up. Pull back on the left joystick. What's gonna happen? Oh, it picked up the diggy thing. What's gonna happen if I push that lever forward? It's gonna go back down. All right, now let's do that again because that's pretty complicated, okay? When you pull back, it goes up. And when you push it back forward, it goes down. Very good. Since we're talking about up and down, put your left arm behind your back and take your right arm out. This joystick over here will lift the non-bulldozer. It's not a bulldozer. It will lift the non-bulldozer up and put it back down. Once again, pulling back goes up and pushing forward goes down. So let's just leave it up because we're going to do more. All right, put your right arm back behind your back again, and we're going to lift up on the reachy thing. Now that the reachy thing is up in the air and the non-bulldozer thing is up in the air, we can take both hands out and we can make the tracky tracks go. Remember the tracky tracks? Okay, we're gonna push forward and we're gonna move forward. We're gonna push backward and we're gonna move backward. Oh my goodness. Now Sam, what happens if I push one forward and pull the other one backward? Well, I'm so glad you asked. If you push the right one forward and pull the left one backward, you're gonna start turning. Oh my goodness. And if you push the left one forward and pull the right one backward, you turn the opposite direction. How about that? Oh, this is getting fun. All right, now we're gonna drive it somewhere so I can show you more. Okie dokie, now we're out in the field and we're gonna try and do a diggy dig. So, I wanna tell you one thing first off. This is a very heavy machine. If you run over something, you will crush it. All right, so we already know with our left hand, we can go up and down. So let's pull it all the way up. Now, put your left hand behind your back and let's try the right hand. Well, what does the right hand do, Sam? Well, when you push forward, the reachy thing reaches forward. Look at that. What do you think it does when you pull backward? The reachy thing comes back. Look at that. Okay, well, Sam, we haven't done any of the side to side with the joystick yet. Okay, let's go with our left hand again. The left hand side to side is gonna make the cab spin. Look at that. I'm spinning. Push it back the other way. Oh, you spin back the other way. Spin, spin, spin. Woohoo! Okay, let's go back to digging. Now that we got our spinny in the right place, let's put our left hand behind our back and try our right hand left to right. Okay, watch the diggy thing. It goes out when I push it away from me, and it goes back in when I pull it towards me. Let me repeat that. If you push the joystick away from you, the diggy thing goes away from you. If you pull the joystick towards you, the diggy thing goes towards you. Oh, all of these things to remember. I know. Okay, both hands at once. We're not going to do any spinny spin. We're going to reach out with the reachy thing. So remember, right hand, we push out the reachy thing. And now we want the pointy things on the diggy thing to go into the ground. So we're going to move it in or out. So if I want that to go out a little bit, I'll push away from me. And the pointy things are pointing at the ground now. Look at that. Now, I want the bucket to go down. Oh, I'm sorry. The diggy thing. I want the diggy thing to go down into the ground. Down. Remember which hand does down? So we push it so it goes down. Okay, look at that. Oh, it's going to go into the ground. Now I want to scoop up that dirt. Well, which part of the diggy thing scoops? I think if I want the diggy thing to come back towards me, I move this joystick on the right towards me. Look at that. I'm digging. I just dug a hole. It's a pretty big hole too. Now I want to get that dirt up out of the ground. So I think I'm going to pull back on what makes it go up. Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just taught you how to use an excavator. Okay, now listen everybody. I know that's not all there is to it, okay? But it sure does get you started, and it gets you to a point of where you don't feel intimidated to try. And that is the number one point of this video. Don't let bullies intimidate you into not trying something that you want to try, okay? Nobody has a monopoly on knowledge. Just because somebody's done it all their life and maybe they're exceptionally good at it, doesn't mean that someone else can't learn the same thing. And you have to start somewhere. I mean, none of us start as experts. So, my goodness, instead of throwing, it's not really an insult, discouragement, instead of throwing discouragement at people, give them some advice, give them some helpful tips, tell them how they can do something better. If you have the intricacies in your mind that they don't yet have in theirs, share it with them. That's all I'm saying. And above all, be nice to each other. I love y'all, and I will see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.